Hi, I'm Julia with Julia Sue's Stamping. I'm from Northeast Ohio and I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I would like to say thank you for joining me here on the channel today, whether you have been here 100 times or it is time number one. I appreciate you being here and thank you so much. Today I'm going to show you a card that is so pretty and easy using a very basic palette of Night of Navy, Smoky Slate, and White. It's fun, it's easy, and I can't wait to share it with you. If you decide to use me as your Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and place an online order, thank you. That helps me grow my small business and I appreciate your help so much. I'm passionate about stamping, coloring, paper crafting, making cards, and sharing the fun of doing that with you. So let's get started making this card using the Hope You Know stamp set with the Thinking of You Today image and also the Nature's prints using this large image here and the splatters. The card base is Night of Navy. That is cut at 8.5 by 5.5 and then scored at 4.25. I've used the bone folder to score it. Inside the card, I have two cardstocks cut and ready to go. The first one is a basic white that has been cut at 5 1/8 inch by 3 7/8 inch, and a smoky slate that has been cut to 5 1/4 by 4. So it is only an 1/8 inch larger than the basic white and will frame it very nicely. Today I'm going to be using some liquid adhesive, and when you use the liquid adhesive, you can hear me scraping it because I'm not using much at all. Laying it down on the smoky slate and making sure I'm happy with how that is adhered on there, and now doing the same thing on the smoky slate and adhering it to the Night of Navy piece, our base piece. Smooth it down, make sure I'm okay with where it is because it's the liquid glue. You can still move it a little bit if you want to. Now I'm going to bring in the pieces for the rest of the card. The first one we have is a basic white that has been cut at 5 1/4 by 4 inches, and also a smoky slate piece which has been cut 2 3/4 by 4 1/4. A piece of Night of Navy that has been cut at 2 1/4 by 3 3/4. The last is the piece that we're going to use for our image, and that is a basic white which is 2 inches by 3.5 inches. Let's put the layers on the card first. Using the adhesive and just placing it on. I'm personally going to have my card be a portrait setting. You can make it landscape if you want. I'm making mine so that it is portrait. Next, for the smoky slate, and laying it down, smooth it. Now for the Night of Navy piece. I'm really hardly putting any adhesive on. You can hear me gliding it across and scraping it on there. That's good. All right, and now for the piece that we're going to use for our image. I'm going to bring in a piece of grid paper because the image is larger than the paper. And using Night of Navy ink, I'm going to ink up my image. And you should use whatever you have handy. If you'd like the stamp set, like I said, it's called Nature's Prints. Then there's the splatter. So I want it to be lighter. I'm going to tap it off a whole bunch of times. And I turn it around so that it's a different piece going in there every time. Closing the ink for the moment. I'll use it again, but not right now. Now we're going to adhere this image piece, our focal point, to the rest of the card. Bringing it back in and laying this down in the center. Now for the sentiment. I have a piece of scrap paper and I have the Thinking of You Today sentiment. I stamp it down onto the scrap piece of paper. I'm going to cut it out. Using the sentiment cutting piece from the Nature's Print that coordinates with Nature's, the dies that coordinate with the Nature's Prints. And that will go around there just beautifully. Here are the plates. And it did very well. I'm going to put that back on my magnet piece. Excellent. Now I'm going to use these small pieces of a floral element with a piece of vellum that I have already used a couple times, as you can see. And get those all pushed out as well so that we can put those on our card. Put them on the magnetic sheet so I can find them later. Things have a way of disappearing sometimes. Putting some adhesive on the back of the sentiment. And then laying these vellum pieces down any way that works for you. Excellent. I like that a lot. Now I'm going to put some more adhesive on and then using some of the white baker's twine and then cutting it with my paper snips. I simply lay it right down like that. And that's how it will end up looking on my piece. Very nice. So I want to lift this up off of the card And I'm going to simply take some dimensionals, and since this is a little larger of a sentiment, I'm going to do it 3 on there. Let's see now, where should this go? There we are, and that is the card. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. Please be sure you give the video a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button if you're not already a subscriber. All of these things help grow my small business, and I appreciate your help. Also, if you have any comments or questions, be sure you leave them down in the comments section. I will answer your questions. I've also listed the supplies used for this card down there, so please take a look, see if there's anything that interests you. I hope you have a fantastic day and have an opportunity to get inky. Bye.